afternoon, everyone. I hope that you all are having an amazing afternoon. I am just putting it out on Twitter. Oh, I see what I did. Hold on one second. There we go. Awesome. All right, there we go. There's Twitter's out. And let's get this set up over here and get the chat up and running. I hope you guys are having an amazing afternoon, amazing day so far. Life is short, right? So live it today and make the best of it today. Hey, Asif, good afternoon. I hope you're doing well. Hey, Ben, how's it going? Where are you located? It's just now afternoon here in Montreal. All right, all of that is looking good. Let's go back here and let's bring this up. Okay, so I'm going to transfer over. I wanted to show you guys, let me scroll so you guys can see it. My podcast is out. So if you go to my but my Twitter handle, you can check it out right over here. I just posted it on Twitter with Pinky, or Marie McNeil. She has been in the trading world for over 50 years. So she definitely has some advice to share with traders. She started out trading, writing out the closing prices of stocks with graph paper. So check it out. It's really easy. If you go to cjanetrade.simplecast.com, let's see, cjanetrade. Oops, what happened? I don't know how I did that. Live chat. I don't know what I did. Somehow, maybe if I hit tab. I don't know what I did to the chat up here on my other computer. I can't get to it. Uh-oh. Top chat, live chat. Sorry, guys. Yeah, 50 years, Asif, huh? It's pretty amazing. Okay, let's pop out the chat. Now I can do it over here. So it's because I'm simplecast.com. And that should bring you right to the, no, you know what? She trades more value investing, swing trading now because she loves to travel. Obviously, when you have that much experience in your life, right, you really love to travel. All right, why is this not showing? Okay, if I just hit this back. Sorry, guys. There we go. All right, everything is good, up and running. Just did something weird to the chat. All right, so looking at the SPY, right? We're now having 3 days up here at the top. I just did my daily 5 or your daily 5 with stock charts today. So what we have to remember is that when we see the VXX, really somewhat base, it tends to have a mini correction. So back here, we had roughly, we had 7 trading days, and then we had a correction, right? Here we had 3 trading days. It kind of went sideways. Then we had another correction. 3 here, a pop that way. Over here, we went from the 12th to the 23rd, 9 trading days, and we popped up, right? Now, what's interesting, this blue line is our 50 simple moving average, right? So it seems that when we have that sort of retracement on the SPY, remember the VXX or VIX is going to measure the put buying on the S&P 500. And that's really going to show if fear is setting in and people are looking to protect themselves with their holdings, buying puts on the S&P 500. So not good to trade, but an amazing tool to follow and track. So we've had fairly consistent volume over here, right? Nothing crazy, not one day bigger than the other. But when we zoom it in, right? When we zoom it in, we've really been going sideways again for roughly that 9-day period. There's lots of patterns in the market. It doesn't mean, or 7 days so far, it doesn't mean tomorrow the market's going to drop, right? Okay, maybe it's going to do the opposite. But if we look back over the past year, that when we have it go sideways, so August we went sideways, correction, went up to the 50 simple moving average and higher, then 3 days went up to the 50 simple moving average, another 3 days up to the 50 simple moving average, 9 days went above it, shot higher. Now we've been really upward trending according to the Vxx since the 28th of October. So we've seen a drop in put buying, and now maybe people are starting to get a little fearful. Maybe it's that they are just thinking, you know what, I'm going to really sit by the sidelines in December and protect my portfolio. I'm not sure if every December this happens. Let's go back and see. Let's get curious. So what happened in December here? That's January. Aha, look at where we are. December 13th through the 27th, and then there was a shoot up right here, November 27th, and it seems like there's a bit of fear that tends to happen the end of the month. Then we tended to rally, Santa Claus rally into the third week, and then it dropped, and then we rallied into the 16th of January, and again in the end of February, right? So this is the inverse of the SPY, if we look at it like that. So what's happening with the SPY? Well, it seems like we're almost creating that top on the SPY on the daily chart, right? On the VXX, people have been buying puts, it looks like, for the past 7 trading days. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, back to here. People have been buying puts since we were back at 360. Looking at that and the nature of how it tends to have a correction, we might see that we have a correction pulling back to, let's put it side by side with the VIX and see where we tend to go. VXX Daily Chart. I'm feeling a little tired today, guys, just a little tired. Okay, so over here we have October 9th to the 22nd. So let's see, October 9th, probably right about here, October 9th to the 22nd, right here. That was the run, or that's when people started buying puts. So October 9th, we were up here, well above all the moving averages. And when did we top out? The 28th. Okay, the 28th over here. So we came down below that 50 simple moving average, right? We came down pretty far. Now, I have turned off some of my moving averages. Let's see if we mess around with it. If I maybe mess around with my simple moving averages. Oh, I think I have a couple turned off because I was doing a training session. Let's do this. Let's turn these on. Aha, there we go. All right, so let's go to that purple one, 128. All right, so about roughly the 120, right? So maybe we'll see that we come back to 342 or 337. If this all holds true, just looking at patterns repeating themselves. We're at a top, maybe we have a bit of a correction. Hey, it looks almost like we're in a channel, right? Here, here, here. Then we set up and we're following this anchored VWAP. Maybe we'll just come back down to 357. That's a possibility too. Not sure how far we will correct, but it looks like maybe there's a pattern setting up for a mini correction, maybe into that first week of September. Excuse me, not first week of September. Third week of December. You can tell I'm a little tired today. All right, Nike and AMD. You got it, Kyle. All right, so let's look at my list. If you guys don't already know, I do provide a watch list on my website, cjanetrade.com. The annual version is on sale through December 24th, 30% off. Let's put this as a 45-minute chart. So on my list today, had MP as a potential long. It gapped up, looked like if it could break above. Yeah, we'll check out Amazon too, Ben. Looked as if it could gap up further if we could break out above above 30, it ended up failing. 28.50 was that support level. Hey, if it breaks below here, nice potential short. Let's put on a 15-minute chart, a little easier to see than the 45-minute. So right off the bat, it failed right in the first 15 minutes. And look at that red line that it came to and bounced off of. Also, ON, a semiconductor, same scenario, looked like it had the potential to gap up. Right, it opened, squeezed a couple of people, and has bounced off of the support level of 31.60. So will this hold, and we'll find more buyers holding it up and continuing up above, and we have a breakaway gap up here? Or is this going to end up being an abandoned baby and we open down tomorrow lower and we see a reversal pattern set up? Tomorrow might indicate more what we see on ON. UMC, another semiconductor, nice move to the upside today, gapped up, however, was not able to hold it. PLTR, I know a lot of people have been feeling, oh man, I missed the move on PLTR yesterday. Look at this amazing move. And now all of a sudden, sellers took over. Oh yeah, thanks Asaf. Yes, I do one-on-one training. And best thing to do if you're interested, just email me at jane@cjanetrade.com. So NEO right here is another one that was in a downward trend, and it's hitting that 20 simple moving average on the daily chart. This is why it's important to look and see and have both the daily and the 15-minute or whatever else you're trading. If you did not have this up, you might go, why on earth is this stopping at 48.30? Well, look, we had the 20 simple moving average right there. So it ran up and hit it like a brick wall. You're not going any further. Seller said, no, guess what? You're below that 20 simple moving average. Also happens to be the midline of the Bollinger Bands if you do not change anything. And you can see how it rode. Every time it pulled back, it went to that 20 simple moving average, right? 20 and then 20. And now, that 20 didn't hold anymore. Looks like the sellers want to sell on that 20 on the daily chart. So right now it does look like it is in that downward motion again. Are we going to close up above 46.70? I would look at that as an area for us to close above. Really 47 would be better. 47 for a close above, for it to slowly show us that it's in that upward motion. It hasn't had the convergence just yet on the crossover of the moving averages. So it's still iffy. We did break above this downward trend. However, we don't have the volume behind it to show that this is really going to continue that move. CCL was on the potential short list today, ended up squeezing right at open. Nice move on CCL, took out the former highs for the past couple of days. Our 200 is starting to curl up. Our 50 simple moving average just curled up over the 200 moving average. Kyle, what is the name of that? Anybody? 50 crossing above the 200 on the daily chart. Anybody have the answer? It's more than just the EMA. Kyle? No, it's not the 425 EMA. Golden Cross. There we go. Good job, Goat Liver. Good job, Michael. Good job, Kyle. No? What do you mean no, Ace? No, Ben? Okay, so looking at that, we have this golden cross setting up. A lot of times people will get that indication and they're going to say, I'm going to buy on the golden cross because that means that the company's health is getting better in the big picture, more of like a value investing. So it tends to become a self-fulfilling prophecy because a lot of people use that. Now we do have earnings coming up, so I would keep that on watch. As well, estimated earnings negative 188. Maybe the big guys are taking it up right now to sell a whole bunch just before earnings, and then boom, they bring it back down here to the 200 simple moving average. Thank you so much for buying our shares. We're going to buy it at a discount now. Riot had a bit of a pullback. Riot is also trading similar to Bitcoin. We'll also look at GBTC. And we see, hey, it came up, hit 11 yesterday. Sellers stepped in, could not really break above 1060, and again today, quick spike above and pulled back down. Then we have big volume that came in on this candlestick right over here. Will it stay above this 200 simple moving average on the 15-minute chart and rebound? That's also hitting the 4 EMA over here. However, what we need to keep in mind is the slope of this trend line. It is fairly high, right? So keeping that in mind, that this might fail. If it fails, where do we see it bounce in the past? Off of that 50. So it might come all the way back down to 470 or $6 to the downside, roughly 60% discount. ACB had the news of all of the cannabis legislature that was passed, and a lot of the cannabis stocks last week were very, very active. We see that there are higher lows that are being set up, but we do have a bit of a downward trend here. So we have a little bit of a triangle, right? If we look here, we're outside of that. Are we going to continue to the upside? We see that the daily averages are starting to curl over. We might have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe this is an A, B, C. We might be in a corrective wave for a lot of different stocks, as well as potentially the indexes. Walmart as well, surging up, nice buy down here. It had a bit of a base that was set up for the past 2 days. Triple bottom actually over here as well, and now we are surging higher, almost an inverted head and shoulders too, with a really deep neckline up here. So if we're able to close above 149, this has a good likelihood of continuing to the upside, looking at it on the shorter time frame, shoulder, head, and shoulder. So NCLH, Norwegian Cruise Lines, big squeeze today, right? Again, what is this right here, guys? The 50 crossing above the 200 is the golden cross. All right, let's add Amazon on here as well. Yeah, very nice. All right, so let's look at Nike. All right, so Nike is breaking out almost. It hit brand new highs, 52-week highs for Nike. Let's look at it on the bigger picture, right? Let's go to a monthly chart and let's auto. So Nike, all-time highs. Really, this is like all-time highs here. So when companies start to set all-time highs, they tend to continue to go higher until they don't, right? So looking at it here, we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This could end up being a nice big wave, fifth wave for Elliott wave. Big volume right here. That would be my support that I would look at for getting out. So I would look at $9 to the downside right here. So it would really need to close above 140. Likely there was some profit taking happening right at that $140 mark. People got in, and up here there was some selling power. It is a little bit extended far away from the moving averages, but not that much. AMD for Kyle. All right, so we seem to have hit a resistance over here, right? It was not able to break above 94.28 in the past. So we had selling power that came in, another selling day. Buyers took it up. A little bit of consolidation. We have an indecision day here with the candlesticks. If we close below 90.89, watch out, we might be coming back down to 80, to the 50 simple moving average, down there at roughly 83.91. And Amazon. Oh yeah, we're going to talk about Tesla too, and we're also going to look at NEO and Lee and XPBEV. So Amazon. So Amazon, I did a call out with Angela Miles on Business AM live, and I said, hey, I really like Gold and Amazon. I like Amazon. They deliver everything, right? And so much, like I'm personally doing pickup of groceries, right? I don't really want to go in the grocery stores. Our numbers here are spiking. I don't really need to commingle with other people all that much. respect other people, respect myself, respect my kids, and trying to be safe. I know that COVID does have, I'll talk about the dollar too, Michael. So talking about COVID, it does have a 97% success rate. I just don't really want to go through it. So why even subject myself to that, right? So just being safe, vitamins, and keeping social distancing down. So looking at Amazon, I like it for that reason. They do a lot of delivery. We have the holidays going on. They are getting their hold into everything. And it is riding this moving average like crazy. Again, we're bouncing off of it today. I said as long as we don't close below 31.45, that's really my get out. So if we close down below here, all right, then there's a chance that this could drop down lower. But for now, we have the faster moving averages curling down. We're almost at the apex right here of this inner wedge. And we could really see that once this breaks, okay, we test 32.20, again, 32.50, 32.80, 3300. And then we come on up and we're up here at 33.60. So am I willing to risk roughly $9 now to make 220? I think that's pretty good risk, right? So that's what I'm looking at with Amazon. Let's look at Tesla as well. All right, so Tesla, you guys have it right here. I know, I shouldn't have gotten out. I got out over here, 576, bearish engulfing day. I thought, okay, this is looking like it's going to sell off. We have a bearish engulfing day, and no, it opened up higher and pulled back here. This day, hey, I was studying for my CMT exam. I didn't get back in. No big deal. There's other stocks that are out there. Then this was upgraded by Goldman Sachs, and many times when they're upgraded, they tend to pull back. We're going to be talking about that a little bit more, Kyle. And let's look at the dollar. So UUP, right? Dollar index right here. No, that's not what I want. How about we do it like this? I don't really want to see it that way. I thought it was UUP. Invesco dollar index. Okay, so let's look at it right here. Really, this is the Dow Jones Industrial Dollar Index. And does this look healthy? Not really. We have this crazy spike over here on the contracts, which is daily contracts, right? This is December 3rd. If we have a lot of money being printed with a stimulus bill, what's going to happen? Basic economics. There's a lot of something. What happens to the price? Well, if there's a lot of something, like a lot of houses on the market, then it becomes a buyer's market because the prices are lower. So if we start printing a whole bunch of money and put it out there, then we're going to see that the US dollar is going to drop. Yes, Kevin, that is right. So it will likely drop. Oops. I think I did the wrong thing. I tried to share that, Kevin. So I'm sorry if I deleted it by mistake. I think I hit the wrong button. Yes, it's going to get devalued. Now, what could potentially increase when we are printing money? The whole reason why they do that is to increase people's ability to spend money, which if there's more money out there, the US dollar devalues and inflation goes up. Exactly. Michael, you got it. And Mark, you got it. So then we look at the gold futures, right? So gold, we have this is a downward trend that was set up. This is the upper bound, so it's a little bit bigger. So confirmation really breaking above 1900 would be awesome. That gold trade on 700 points, roughly 600 points from there to the upside. Now, personally got in roughly back around here, not on gold futures, but in Ego. Got into Ego over here on this trading day, you can see my target is 15 or better for ego. Right now it is just pretty much following that trend line to the upside. We also have these silver futures as well that we're going to look at. So gold and silver right now, hey, there's two different trend lines right here. Exactly, Mark. People are going to turn to many times a commodity. If you go back in history and you look at gold stocks, GLD, let's do it. Well, let's look at silver first, and then we'll look at gold back again. So we have this downward trend right here, right? And then this is a secondary one that I set up with the 45-minute chart. And you can see we have this wedge, which we're testing it for silver right now. We could come back up here and they could test it again. So will this be the breakout for silver? Let's look back on the monthly chart. And I'm super curious. Let's go here. Let's draw a fib retracement. Look at that. We're right at that 61.8 Fibonacci retracement, and we have a bit of a cup and handle as well on silver. I didn't see this before until I pulled it all the way out. So here's our rim line right here at the 50%. Okay, cool how Fibonacci works, right? That's where that rim line is set up, roughly 29.15. And we came back, so our total depth, 1362 to 29. I'm just going to do this, make my life easier. So we have 1531. And this over here has pulled back. It pulled back almost 50%. Almost. But it's just shy. Pretty much anywhere from 33 to 50% is that handle set up for a cup and handle. Now, it did bounce right off of the 8 EMA. All right, no problem. We're at the 61.8%. Yeah, we'll look at AGI. Yeah. Nixon pegged all the currencies to the dollar in 71 or 77. With all this printing, the miners and exotics are going to get squashed. Yes, they really, really will. And the euro too. Like looking at the euro dollar, the Mexican peso, and the Argentinian as well. Argentina has theirs pegged to the US dollar as well. So there's going to be a lot of potential opportunities for investments abroad, right? If you'd like to buy foreign property, it's probably going to become much cheaper. People are not going to be able to pay for their properties. Then they're going to be worth less. But if inflation does set in, maybe it'll rise. We'll see. All right, oil. All right, hold on. We want to go AGI. So let's go back. GLD, right, on the monthly chart here. So we go back to GLD, and I can get rid of this drawing. Likely this meant something, but I can always add it again. And get rid of this and this drawing. Okay. Here we are back in 2008. What happened? We went from 100 down to 66. Hey, almost that Fibonacci retracement. And then tripled in value, right? So are we going to have this drawdown again? Or is that all that we're seeing right now? Is this the extent of it? Back to the 20 simple moving average. This came almost pretty much back to like a 50 monthly average, which would put us back down here at 134. Doesn't look like we're necessarily going to be there just yet. Maybe people are buying into it saying, hey, if history repeats itself, look at how this surged and went higher. So also we have Barrick Gold that Buffett was buying into, right? We had this nice breakout over here. I just drew it from this trend line. Let's draw this over here as well. You can see, hey, came back, it tested it there. That would have been a nice entry. That's the not Barrick Gold. Barrick Gold, here we go. So here we have Barrick Gold, and it's pulling back as well. We have a bit of a W, and it came back and really tested the rim of the W right here. And now maybe we're going to see that next move up. Maybe this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C. Maybe we're going to step into another 1 coming up with all that fun Elliott wave stuff, Elliott wave theory. All right, so we looked at the dollar. Let's look at AGI. You guys know I like to trade ego. This is a monthly chart, so remember that. This is monthly, and it looks like we have a bit of a downward trend on AGI right here. If we go from the Wxx, let's pull it back to a daily. If you guys are enjoying the live stream too, please hit that thumbs up button, because the more that you guys comment and the more that you guys put the thumbs up, the more that YouTube will share it and allow me to help more people. So even sharing with your friends on Twitter and all that good stuff is awesome. The more people I can reach and help. All right, so it looks as if we have a downward trend, a bit of consolidation over here. If you put on the weekly, you'll likely be able to see that more easily. You see, and here we have almost a W. If we break above 10, thanks, Ben. That if we break above 10, we'll likely move it to the upside, right? And I have to remember the statistics. I'm going to have to look it up. Usually when we have a downward trend, it's something like 57% of the time it tends to break out, but you need to wait for that breakout. Don't get sucked into the false breakout, right? Hey, if this was over here, then it looked like, yes, this is our breakout point. Did it ever come back and test that? Yes, it went lower. Okay, maybe they're going to use that 50 simple moving average on the weekly as support. So if you were to get in now, look at potentially $8.05 as your support level. Maybe. That's what I would probably do. Oh my goodness. Did you guys see what happened to everybody that was with Raging Bull? If anybody was with Raging Bull, just contact the FTC and talk to them, basically. That's all I'm going to say. So here, this could be setting up for another trend line, 950 break. We might see a nice big move over there. All right, LXRX, not C. So LXRX, look at that. We came up and on the weekly chart, look at how these moving averages work. Still on the weekly chart. It's so cool to see that stuff. And when we look back in the back, oh, look, you don't see it on the daily, but when you look at it on the weekly, look at how up here we had these two moving averages that crossed, and look at what it hit today. I got to slide it up so you guys can see it. There. Almost came up here and it's stuck right at that moving average. Couldn't see it on the daily chart, but you can definitely see it here on the weekly chart. So always look back at different time frames, right? Always check the multiple time frames. Yeah, ASIF, there's a big federal investigation against them. That's it. So just if anybody has dealt with them or bought any of their products, just contact the FTC. That's all I'm going to leave it as, because I don't know exactly what happened, but there is some protection for people that did buy products from them. All right. So have an amazing afternoon, everyone. I am not going to see you tomorrow. I actually have a one-on-one training set up tomorrow from 11 until 1. So I might pop in maybe for 15 to 20 minutes, maybe 1:10 tomorrow. So keep your notifications on, and I will see you all tomorrow, just a little bit later in the day. And then I have to go and do my groceries, and then I'll be doing Ticker Talker Roundtable. So busy life as a mom, day trader, and helping you guys here on YouTube. See you all tomorrow, roughly 1 o'clock, and carpe profit. Seize those profits one trade at a time.